Most people think being rich looks like driving a gold-plated supercar or wearing head-to-toe designer logos. In reality, the people doing that are often one paycheck away from bankruptcy. True wealth is silent. It's the person living in a modest neighborhood with 7 figures in their brokerage account. Today, we're breaking down the 7 habits that silent millionaires use to build massive fortunes while the rest of the world is busy looking rich. Silent millionaires don't save what is left at the end of the month. They treat their savings like their most important bill. This is called automated wealth. Before they pay for rent, Netflix, or groceries, a percentage is automatically diverted into assets. By the time they see their balance, the wealth building part is already done. Most people get a 10% raise and immediately upgrade their car or phone. This is lifestyle creep. The wealthy keep their living standards the same even as their income explodes. They live on 50% of what they make and invest the rest. They don't buy things to impress people they don't even like. You don't get rich by taking wild gambles. You get rich by taking calculated risks where the downside is limited, but the upside is infinite. Example, spending 2 hours a day building a YouTube channel or an e-commerce store. The cost, just your time. The upside, millions of dollars in passive income. This is how the 1% separates themselves from the 99%. Everyone wants the next big thing, but silent millionaires love boring assets. They buy index funds, dividend stocks, and real estate. They understand the rule of 72. Wealthy people aren't cheap, they are frugal. They will spend $500 on a pair of boots that last 10 years, but they won't spend $5 on a coffee every single morning. They spend money on things that provide long-term value, health, or time savings, and ruthlessly cut costs on things that don't. The average millionaire reads 1 to 2 books a month. The average person watches 4 hours of TV a day. While the world chases status symbols, the wealthy chase knowledge. They know that their earning capacity is directly tied to their learning. Most people trade their time for a paycheck, but the wealthy trade solutions for a fortune. This is the difference between labor and leverage. When you spend 4 hours watching TV, you are consuming someone else's leverage. When you spend 1 hour learning a high-value skill like AI automation, financial analysis, or digital marketing, you are building your own. Think of your brain as a software system. If you never update the software, you can't run the new high-paying programs of the modern economy. Success leaves clues. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Warren Buffett all follow the 5-hour rule. They dedicate at least 5 hours a week to deliberate learning. But here is the secret. They don't just read anything. They focus on stackable skills. If you know how to edit video, you have a skill. If you know video editing plus YouTube SEO plus sales psychology, you now have a skill stack that makes you irreplaceable. Not all information is created equal. Most people confuse being busy with being productive. Scrolling through business news for 3 hours is a liability if you never take action. The wealthy practice just-in-time learning. They identify a problem in their business or career, find the specific book or course that solves it, and apply it immediately. They don't just collect knowledge, they weaponize it. Most people are addicted to the feeling of progress without the reality of it. This is passive action. Reading about a workout isn't a workout. Watching a video about rich routines isn't building a routine. The wealthy prioritize active action. They don't wait to be ready. They know that clarity follows action, not the other way around. If you learn a new sales closing technique at 9 a.m., you should be on a sales call by 10 a.m. testing it out. Failure is just data, and in the wealth niche, data is the most expensive currency you can own. Every person watching this is exactly one skill away from their next financial breakthrough. If you're a freelancer, you're one high-ticket sales skill away from doubling your rates. If you're an employee, you're one management or coding skill away from a promotion. If you're a creator, you're one storytelling or editing skill away from going viral. Wealthy people identify that one missing piece and attack it with just-in-time learning. They don't study history if they need to learn how to run Facebook ads. They solve the immediate. Most people see failure as a wall. The wealthy see it as a filter. Every time you fail, you are simply filtering out what doesn't work, leaving behind the only thing that matters, the truth. If you have a 10% success rate, you just need to fail 9 times to get to that one win. The librarian is still on attempt 0, waiting for a 100% guarantee that doesn't exist. Meanwhile, the architect has already failed 5 times and is 50% closer to the breakthrough. Wealth isn't about being right. It's about staying in the game long enough to stop being wrong. So, how do you survive the failures? You practice asymmetric risk. You make bets where the cost of failure is small, but the reward for success is life-changing. The librarian's bet, spending $50,000 on a degree hoping for a 5% raise, high cost, low reward. The architect's bet, spending $50 on a domain and a month of weaponized learning to build a digital asset, low cost, infinite reward. When the downside is capped but the upside is unlimited, failing faster isn't just a slogan, it's a mathematical strategy for inevitable wealth. This is the hardest part. You have to kill your old self, the version of you that seeks permission, the version of you that waits for a guide to tell you exactly what to do. In the wealth niche, nobody is coming to save you. No book will do the work for you. You must stop identifying as someone who wants to be rich and start identifying as a business operator. Operators don't care about feelings, they care about systems, leverage, and results. Most people quit at day 90. They say, I tried, but it didn't work. But the wealthy follow the 1,000-day rule. It takes roughly 1,000 days of weaponized learning and messy action to completely rewire your financial reality. That's 3 years. 3 years of being the architect instead of the librarian. The question isn't, will it work? The question is, can you survive the 1,000 days of being wrong so you can spend the rest of your life being right? Information is a commodity. Execution is a rarity. You have the blueprint. You know the cost of inaction. Now close this tab, shut down your laptop, and go do the one thing you're afraid will fail, because that failure is the only thing standing between you and the life you want. I hope you liked the video and subscribe Rich Routines for more video. We will see you at the top.